Well, hello there. And hello from Thelma. So I just stopped sort of what I was in the middle of, and I was like, I have to stop and share. So the first thing of note that I want to stop and share is other than I need a better camera to capture what I hoped you could see. Gosh, I can see it. My dad, 81-year-old in his workshop there. Sort of first thing of note, beauty. Second thing of note and beauty, look at that tree, phenomenal. So I'm just, oh, sorry, didn't mean to capture that on film, Thelma. My apologies to everyone involved in that. Okay, Thelma's done. Coming down off of a seminar high, a virtual seminar. Noticing the differences between virtual seminars and real seminars. One, this is the commute. So one day I was going to say, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry, those chickens, they wouldn't get out of my way. I was trying to run. I was trying to get there, but the chickens slowed me down on my commute. Yeah, I had no excuse for being late. I just lost track of time. That was my commute. But there was no one to talk to afterwards, which would have been fun at a seminar. Normally be typically in the bar after, eating and laughing, and I wished I had that. Although yesterday I felt completely just sucked dry, depleted. There wasn't anything left. I had a hard time finding words, and today it's fountainhead, everything everywhere. So many ideas. My hand can only write so fast. The next thing I thought of note that I would maybe get back to is a barnyard fashionista. Because, hey, and thanking cancer. So I was thanking cancer today because it gave me scarves and hats. Come on, Thelma. Thanking bankruptcy and divorce for having this amazing cabin. How to reframe life 101. You do it every day. So I would never have had this amazingly comfortable hat from Chelsea, or this fabulous scarf of Heather's Closet, or any number of other fabulous ones, some of which I have out here. Handmade hats, all kinds of things. I would never have had all of this fabulosity, my friend Peter's word, if I hadn't had cancer. And I certainly wouldn't have all my wonderful things in this cabin and have time to sit in here and take advantage of it if I hadn't had cancer. Wouldn't have. I know the wood stove needs a paint job, but anywho, there she is, all naked and bare. Ooh, and warming up my tea. This old beauty is a relic from the past. The date on it says Toronto 1952. No, doesn't. 1852, what am I saying? 1952 wouldn't have been all that remarkable, would it? Unless you were born that year, and then it is entirely remarkable. So this was taken out of a schoolhouse that my grandfather grew up in, and when the schoolhouse was being converted or renovated or whatever, he said, I want the stove, and it's warming me up. I wouldn't have put all this together and had this space to work in if I hadn't had cancer. So thank you for that, cancer. Generally, cancer wasn't enough to slow me down, so I kept getting kicked, kept getting kicked. Kept falling down. I'm done! Well, we're never ever done falling, but I never would have learned all these things. You learn from pain, don't you? Yes, you do. You learn from pain much more quickly than you learn from joy. Something I've explored deeply. So I wanted to show you the next thing here that I'm doing of note. which I stopped doing and grabbed the camera for, is another leg in the journey. So the seminar was great for showing possibilities. There's all kinds of ways you can help people with what you know alongside horses or other animals. And since I had some holes in my knowledge, I have been bridging some gaps, and now I'm going to bridge some gaps for others. So then there was a tremendous gap after a 5-day training and certification program that is from amazing women who have done amazing things with kids, but really, how much can they stuff into my head in 5 days? I don't know. So there was a huge gap, and I discovered this other side of the chasm in my notes here. I had a really good picture of a chasm because I'm such a good artist. I could use some artistic friends. And there was this chasm between their programming and what they considered woo-woo. Say Linda Kohanoff, Hillary Schneider would be just considered too woo-woo for words. And I get it, you got to have hard science to bring it to school boards and have it approved by, and there is hard science behind, evidence-based behind the training program that I took. But what they wrote off as unnecessary or woo, guess what? Science caught up. And that was what was missing. So I feel like I'm sitting at the edge of neuroscience and spirituality, and that I'm the bridge for what's important on both sides and how to bring them together. So this brings me to this. Part of what I've been learning about is regulating your own nervous system. So people that come to you with trauma, or kids on the spectrum, or any number of things, all of us, you're not sleeping, you have problems with stress, if you fall into any of these categories, you have to learn to manage your own nervous system. And if you can wrap your heads around what's going on, which I'm getting good at breaking down because I had to break it down for myself to understand, let alone for kids that I want to help. And I've found ways of hacking into our own nervous system, explaining it, and then practicing the zone. So we hear of athletes that are in the zone, or writers who are in the zone, musicians who are in the zone, and worship them and try to learn from them, and go to train with them and then wonder why something doesn't translate. So there is actually a way of measuring when you're in the zone and practicing it, and it's a muscle, and it's something you can create not just when you're ready to do a performance in whatever aspect of your life, whether you're artist, singer, writer, athlete, parent, teacher, whatever, when you have to switch on. There's a muscle you can use to get into that zone at will, and to get into it in spite of landmines going off around you, literally and figuratively. So when you talk to people who have lived through extraordinary circumstances and maintained composure, who are now or have lived through, who have overcome, people who have a facility in being in the zone, you can actually break it down, teach it, and all of us average muggles can go, aha! Ha life, I've got you now by those short and curly hairs, have I not? And you'll be able to go back there. So your life can be exploding around you. You can be in the middle of a slow motion train wreck, watching it all go to smoke and ruins around you. And you can find joy and balance and make good decisions no matter what's happening around you. Now, this little sucker is a tool that anecdotally people were doing exercises like Linda, a pioneer with horses, of practicing when you're quiet, you're in the zone, you're relaxed, you're meditative. There's a number of words for that zone. people chase it with meditation. You have to be in it if you want to connect with a horse and ride it anyway half decently. We can actually stick a monitor on, and oh gosh, something I need, and I'm going to ask for a reference. If you guys have any experience with cameras, systems that hold cameras, so that like pivot, or you know, you can set up a tracker for your camera. I want to invest in one of those. So if anyone has any suggestions, then I won't have to do this. Do a great reveal. So this little HeartMath tool, check out HeartMath. I'll be teaching about it. I'm becoming certified in it, and I'm using it alongside my program. So this goes on your ear. I haven't figured out where that goes. Oh my God, not there. You guys, always thinking. Anyway, that goes on the ear. I'll figure out where this goes. It all gets hooked into my phone, and if I couldn't tell you, hey guys, I'm in the zone, then this thing would, it'd turn green. And you know what else would tell you you're in the zone? The horses that we work with, because if we put them in freedom and said, hey, go connect with that horse, and you were out of the zone, the horse would go and just keep moving, and you wouldn't get anywhere near it. So the horse will tell you in exercises, because when you get there, it looks at you like you're a magnet, and it comes to you every single time without chasing it, without sending it. You don't have to do all that. You just have to be connected. I saw people do it with horses. I'm now fascinated with liberty training and with just working with them in freedom, a la Hillary. And so we can practice being in a state both with the horse's feedback and with this thing. I can teach people how to use it as I learn, and get there not just when circumstances are nice and it's a beautiful day and I'm sitting under a tree. Isn't it great that I have time to sit under a tree? But I theoretically, I'll let you know how it goes, can practice, and really in reality I have been in this shitstorm of life I've been through. I can practice to be able to achieve this while somebody's theoretically screaming at me, although who would ever scream at me? Pull the cancer survivor card. Oh, you're not going to scream at a cancer survivor, are you? So in whatever sort of life circumstances, we should be able to exercise this muscle, get into this place, and make decisions and reactions and hold our calm that are for the good of us and the people around us. So we communicate and connect with people in spite of disagreeing on maybe the angles we're coming in from, or there's any number of applications for this. Being able to sleep at night, being able to reintroduce this state. So I have both been a practitioner of this state and an expert without knowing it, just looking back on when and how I connected with horses, particularly air quotes, difficult ones, ruined ones. Then completely lost the ability to do it. And I mean, horses would run from me and dogs would bark at me because I was in a state of 5-alarm fire bells and total nervous system overload, on and off for a really good period of time. And I've regained it and been like, yeah, look at me regain it. And then had it lost again and went through 8 weeks this summer of complete sleeplessness, even including the drug to the eyeballs. It's like giving a blow dart into a hippopotamus. Like, it was not taking me down. Unless Rod hypnotized me to sleep, I just didn't get any. Then I maybe had 2 hours. And I'm out the other side of that, and I'm promising never to go back again to that kind of life. I am trying to live this and walk the talk. I'm off of sleeping pills and sleeping meds. I'm off of anti-anxiety meds. I am returning to life, and I'll let you know how it goes. I've been practicing every day. looking out and finding gratitude. I've found it hard sometimes when adrenaline has taken over and anxiety has well and truly taken the wheel. In the past, I've struggled to come out of that state, and that's what I expect this to help me with. Basically, you do breathing exercises, and this monitor will help you monitor them and keep finding relief from anxiety and sleep and clarity. So at the forefront of technology and woo-woo, because yogis have been doing this for thousands of years. They've been telling us. There's no proof. Well, now there's science, and we can measure and compare our heart rate and variability with our breathing rate and know when we're in and out of these states and practice maintaining them in a way that's familiar to our current society. So I really hope to connect kids with this. It's not that it's reasonably affordable. I had to save up for it because I've been living on support of the government. Thank you very much, government, for taking care of me through cancer. It's been super duper. There really wasn't enough. If I hadn't lived with a family, there really wouldn't have been enough to go around, and there isn't for people that have to go on that support. Certainly a lot less than the CERB. Interesting. Going to be really looking at society and programs in the future. I've had a really close look at them because I've needed them, and I am planning my work going forward so that I don't need them anymore. So stay tuned as I learn, use this, share, and then implement it going forward next year when I'm fully recovered from cancer and being cooped up and everything else that I've been through will turn into programmings. I'm already finding all the common threads. Cancer gave me the time to write about them. Thank you, cancer. COVID gave me the serenity. There's nobody showing up here disturbing me. I really missed that, but I have unbroken time now. So thank you, COVID lockdown, for unbroken time. Thank you, COVID, for all the learning. For all the Zoom sessions, and for all of the people who scrambled to put their content up into a form that I could both afford, generally that was free, and access. Yay, Zoom. And wish me luck as I figure out how to do that with my own stuff going forward so that I can provide digital platforms to learn from that are more affordable than my on-site programs are going to promise to be. I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking of you very much. You're a beautiful person. I say goodbye now. I'm going to retire that terrible accent and go visit a horse. And if you can't do that, then maybe I'll post some scenes about what that looks like, and you can just take some time today. So, find your happy place. See you later.